the Egyptian obelisk. Egyptian obelisk is like the Washington Monument, for instance. The Washington Monument is an Egyptian obelisk. An obelisk represented a male phallic in the erection. And the male phallic is connected to the female ovaries. It's called the Oval Office. Right? And the water strip is her water. And so when her water breaks, the male phallic connects to the female ovaries. The Oval Office. Sexual symbols everywhere. A six-pointed star, star of Saturn. So the point I'm making is that our institutions around the world, especially in Western civilization, are based on symbolism, lies, deception, manipulation of our thinking, and somewhere along the line, if you're really looking for truth, and most people aren't, like that movie when who was it? Tom. Yeah, in the movie anyway, the kid says he wants the truth, and the other guy said, you can't handle the truth. Yeah. I believe that's exactly right. I don't think that the world of mankind can handle the real truth about how the world really works. You know, I said last night that I believe that democracy is the very worst possible form of government on the earth. I don't think you can get a worse government than democracy. And the reason I'm saying that, I can clarify it now. First of all, demos in Greek is a mob. That's why a mob is out in the street with plaques and ranting and raving. We call it a demonstration. A demonstration is a mob of people. And so democracy is the rule. So the rule of the mob is democracy. True democracy is 45 whites hanging one black. That's democracy. We all voted, and one guy's got to die. We all voted. It's democracy. No, America was founded as a constitutional republic. A constitutional republic means there is a set rule of laws that everyone abides by, and it was set up in such a way as to protect this person, the individual, from the mob. Because, you know, down south where I come from, the Ku Klux Klan, they can pick out anybody they want, and there's 45 of them, and they take you out and hang you. And who's going to say anything? It was a democracy. We all voted, and therefore it must be legal. No. America was set up as a constitutional republic, which means the Constitution was a law, and everyone, no matter who is in the country, had to abide by the law, and it protected you as an individual. The biggest problem with a democracy is very simple if you just think about it. Democracy means mob rule. It doesn't matter what the law says. And incidentally, I want to throw this out to you. We hear all the time that America is a land of laws. We are a country based on law. In point of fact, that is not true. In point of fact, it is just the opposite. America is the most lawless country on the earth, period. There is no law in America. Think about that, what I just told you. There is no law in America. What we have here is whatever the judge says it is. And whatever the judge says it is, that's what the law is. If you go to a different court and the different judge of the same identical information, facts and figures, will maybe give a different verdict. Well, that's what the law is. That's the law. No, it's not the law. It's what that guy said. I learned all of this when I was in traveling around, going to the different churches and different cults. Jehovah's Witnesses are a classic example. I could use the Mormons as a classic example. I could use any of these churches as a classic example of what I'm talking about. There is no set law in any religious organization, in the church or any cult or any group or any political group. It's whatever the boss in that particular group says it is, that's what the law is. And so even in Jehovah's Witnesses, they will have the elder in that church will tell you, well, here's what the Bible says and here's what the law is. Now, if you go to a different one, And he was like, no, that guy's full of bull. Here's what the real thing is. Here's the real. And then you understand it doesn't matter where you go in any Mormon church, any Seventh-day Adventist church, any Christadelphian, any Worldwide Church of God, any cult, any rabbi, any synagogue, it doesn't matter. Whoever is in charge of that one particular church where you are, that's the law. And that's exactly what's going on in America. It doesn't matter what the actual law books say. You cannot go into a court in this country and win on the basis of facts. That is the facts of life. You cannot win in a court in America on the basis of facts, period. The judge don't give a damn about the facts. He's the boss, and in this court, he calls the shots. Well, yeah, but the other judge said, I don't care what the other judge said. This is my court, and I call the shots. So I will decide. If I kind of like you, maybe I'll give you a break. If I don't like you, maybe I'll add 10 years. Now, what are you going to do about it? You say, well, yeah, but the law says, no, don't bring that up. This is my court. I call the shots. Therefore, there is no law. America is a land of lawlessness. In the Bible, in the book of Revelation, it talks about the rise of the man of lawlessness. And I've often wondered about that. It's very interesting. A lot of interesting, important stuff written in the Bible if you know what you're looking at. But it talks about in the book of Revelation the rise of something called the man of lawlessness. And I used to wonder why, what in the world was that all about? Because America's got so many laws. We got thousands of law books. That's all we are, is got law books. So how could there be a man of lawlessness that would rise in the world? Well, now I understand. America is the home of the man of lawlessness. George Bush couldn't care less what the Constitution says, the Bill of Rights. It just don't matter. He's the boss, and whatever he says do, that's what you're doing. You say, well, yeah, but the law says they don't care. And if you bring that up again, you're going to jail. Why? Because he represents the Vatican. The Bush regime was front for the Vatican. The most important enemy this country has today, people will never understand it, but the biggest enemy that this nation today has is the Vatican. The Vatican is behind the crap that's going on all over. What do you think the founding fathers, whatever we call them, the founding fathers, where did they come from? The people who founded this country, they came from Europe. Well, for 2,500 years, Rome, under the Caesars of Rome, and then after the fall of the Caesars in the 4th century, and with the coming of the Vatican in the 5th century, all of Europe has been dominated for over 2,500 years by Rome. And Europe has dominated the world for 2,500 years. So I'm saying that if you want to find out who the real enemy of this country is, you better start looking at the Holy Father. And you better start finding out the connection between the Vatican and the Nazi Party of Adolf Hitler.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm sorry, we have very limited time, so we have to let David Wilcock come on stage now.
And I'm just getting warmed up.
I know you are, and God bless you. That's right. Yes, stand up for this man. Thank you, Jordan. We'd love to do a Camelot interview with you, Jordan. I'm saying that here in public on stage. Anytime.
I want to add one more comment quickly. When you hear people talking about Jewish conspiracy, Jewish this and Jewish that, it's Vatican, not Jewish.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So as